What ho chaps, it's time for another weekly news roundup, everybody's favourite foul-mouthed farrago of current events, the shite you see on the BBC. Lots going on this week. It is almost difficult to squeeze in things that aren't coronavirus based, but the BBC does a really good job of, making sure that we still get a nice lambasting, a thorough basting in social justice juice every week, no matter what's going on in the world. This first story made me laugh. We used to donate to the food bank, now we rely on it. I'm just going to say the obvious. She's got more chins than the Chinese phone book. I don't think she needs to rely on the food bank. I think she's probably consuming 2 or 3 times the recommended daily allowance of fat, sugar and carbohydrate. And she's not relying on it to survive. Hence the reason she's got an arse like a fucking buffalo. I've noticed this it's the same in the UK. They do try and make out like everyone is relying on a food bank nowadays, don't they? Like, I've never been to a food bank, I've never been rich, and I've never been to a food bank. And in a country like the UK, where benefits are so easy to come by, the likes of Mick fucking Philpott have more kids than the bastard Waltons, despite the fact he never worked a single day in his life. I have a hard time believing that people need to rely on food banks. If you think I'm being a prick, fucking tell me. I love getting called a cunt. But I'm from Middlesbrough, it's a rough town. Half the town is on fucking benefits. And I don't know anyone that's ever needed to fucking rely on food banks. All the fat fucking chavs that I see wandering through the council estates are better dressed than me, have brand new fucking Nike Air Max on, and are always getting pissed and smoking fucking Lambert and Butler. Now I will concede, they are drinking the cheap lager and they are smoking the cheap fags. And when they're scratching off the scratch cards outside fucking Tesco, they're always the cheap scratch cards. Yeah, fair enough. They're not the fucking they're not the £5 a go Monopoly National Lottery scratch cards. They're the £2 a go Noughts and Crosses National Lottery scratch cards. But they're still drinking booze, smoking fags, and scratching fucking scratch cards. So I don't believe any cunt is relying on food banks to survive. I think we are still throwing too much money at scruffy, bone-idle, work-shy bastards who get more than enough money to live off. And they just keep whinging because they just want more money. Think she needs a good meal? I don't fucking think so. I won't go on about it. I'm sure some people are struggling. But I am a proponent of Darwinism. I think ultimately the government should do less and we should expect more from the general public. And if you're that much of a fucking imbecile, you've spent the last 6 weeks wandering around licking fucking windows and foraging for food in alleys, is it really a good idea for us to keep you around? You're not going to really bring out the best in humanity, are you? But again, I'm an arsehole. Maybe it's just me. Here's a great middle class arsehole story from the BBC. How do you cope when everyone in your family's got COVID-19? Exactly the same as you cope when you've got the flu. Yeah, that's how you cope. You mill around the house, drink a lot of water, and spend all day in bed. Done. Let's find out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll learn something profound. That is a fantastic recommendation. If she never brought that up, I would never have thought of that one. Cheers, love. You're a fucking medical visionary. It's called a fever. Not a big deal. We've all had them. I'll tell you what, I'm glad we decimated the economies of the world over this one. Steve looks like baggage. I think they should have been charged 50 quid for wasting the ambulance's time. What the fuck's he ringing an ambulance for, that soft cunt? Phone in an ambulance because you're having a bit of trouble breathing. Christ almighty. Does he phone them when he's on the rowing machine? Oh, I'm getting a bit short of breath here. Phone the fucking ambulance. 3. Bill the cunt. In Middlesbrough, if you phoned the fucking ambulance 3 times and they never once took you to the hospital, that 3rd time, the fucker driving the ambulance would put you in fucking hospital. He'd boot the shite out of you on your front garden and you'd need to go to the fucking hospital. But not because you got a virus, because you've got a broken fucking jaw. You have to take each day as it comes when you've got the flu. I reckon they used to say you've got to take each day as it comes at the Battle of the Somme. Not when you get a bit out of breath going for a piss. Well, there you go. A family got the flu. Everyone's fine. The fucking end. That could be like a metaphor for the whole country. A country got flu. Everyone was fine. The end. I've talked about it loads. I'm not going to whinge about it. 99% of the people that died of coronavirus had at least one, usually three, major fucking healthcare conditions, i.e. twatted by a bus, leukemia and bollock cancer, and then he's on his fucking last legs and he dies and they go, coronavirus. Put coronavirus down. He hasn't got a head. Fuck it, put it down anyway. Fucking bollocks. If you've got coronavirus, stay in bed, drink a lot of fluids, take some paracetamol for your headache, get your head down, get out of bed a week later, get on with your fucking life. There's some coronavirus advice. Done. Don't need the BBC's help. Didn't need to invent anything drastic, like sleeping a lot. Look at this one. Coronavirus, how to manage OCD and anxiety. Well, I'll tell you how. 90% of the people who say they've got OCD haven't got OCD. They haven't. It's one of those cool, trendy, young people illnesses. Oh, I'm so OCD. I have to get all the cans lined up nicely in the fridge. Fuck off. Douglas Murray's talking about this in his book. Everyone comes out with it now. Oh, I've got a bit of OCD. PTSD. Everyone says they've got PTSD because it sounds cool. Oh, yeah, I was in a bad relationship, man. I've got PTSD. You haven't. The soldiers who had to fucking scrape brains off the fucking uniforms and they haven't got PTSD. I haven't. I went to war 5 fucking times. I don't swing the lantern about it because I don't give a fuck. Not that big a deal. They love saying they've got OCD and they love saying they've got PTSD because they sound cool, not too serious, just a little thing you can bring up on a date to make you sound interesting. Nobody says, oh, I'm a fucking schizo. You know, you don't go on the first date. Oh, I've got a bit of OCD. What about you? I'm a fucking schizo. I hear voices in my head and they just make me want to stab a woman in the eye with an ice pick. It's one of them things. Anyway, Nando's. Fucking bullshit. And there's data to back that up. They're the most overprescribed fucking medications and conditions ever. 90% of them are bollocks. Oh, I like the cans to be straight in the refrigerator. What about you? Oh, insane narcissistic rage. Sometimes I just go fucking berserk and kill every cunt. That one, Afghanistan investigates reports Iran guards forced migrants into a river. And they call those cunts. Yeah, they hate Nigel Farage because he politely suggests we should deport them on a plane. He doesn't say, throw them in the fucking sea. Afghanistan's investigating reports Afghan migrants drowned after being tortured and pushed into a river by Iranian border guards. The migrants were caught trying to enter Iran illegally from western Herat province on Friday, according to local media. They were beaten and forced to jump into a river. Some of them are said to have died. Iran dismissed the allegation. Well, again, social justice warriors, you tell me why we're the bad guys. AOC crying at the fucking border fence. You tell me why we're the villains. What do? We give them a fucking council house and we send them to fucking KFC because it's halal. And then they say, well, you're not giving them enough money though. They couldn't buy everything they wanted from KFC. These cunts knock the shite out of them and throw them in a river. And we're the fucking bad guys. Unbelievable. Coronavirus coffee farmer, we're scared. That's because you're a fucking millennial soy boy. The new White House press secretary, pretty fit, right? That's a good advertisement for my theory about why Republican and conservative women are better looking than liberal lefty women. Look at her, tidy as fuck. We know what she'd look like if she was a lefty. If this was the Obama administration and I had a young woman to do the job, probably look a bit like that. A honking bit of kit. Fucking BBC. Look at this one. Do we really need toilet paper? I know the BBC loves to destroy our own achievements and praise everybody else's, but if they're now trying to advertise wiping your arse with your hand like a third world fucking savage, I'm sorry, I'm just taking a hard pass. I don't even want to watch it. Do we really need toilet paper? Fuck off, BBC. Look, why do Westerners love to use toilet paper? Because we're not fucking barbarians. Justin the Soy Boy's using a massacre as an attempt to grab everybody's guns, even though the guns used weren't obtained legally. Totally makes fucking sense, doesn't it? None of the weapons used by the shooter were obtained legally, so he's now going to scoop up everybody's weapons. Canada, what you fucking thinking? The soy boy in chief. He's got the fucking brains of a flip-flop, that cunt. He's rid his dad's coattails into the fucking job. His dad wasn't a complete moron. He is. He's like a fucking stoned surfer with a penchant for blackface. It's a good job I don't live there, because I would flat out refuse. And if they want to send 10 coppers around my house to fucking try and take them, well, let's see what happens. They wouldn't be able to do it in America, because you'd have a few 100,000 people that just say, if you want to take it, you fucking come round and try. But Canada, they'll probably just fucking apologise and hand it over. You had your chance, lads, and you fucked it up. You can forgive anyone fucking up one election, because you don't know that much about them when they're the new boy. But the fact that they voted him in again, well, you deserve what's coming, boys. They'll take all your guns, and then him and his communist chums will feed you all into the fucking wood chipper. Look at this one, HMP Eastwood Park. Concern over segregated transgender women prisoners. Fucking hell. The segregation of their transgender women's prisoners for long periods is a concern for a watchdog. Unbelievable. Do you know why they segregate them? Do you know why? Because in 2018, a transgender woman, I use the term very loosely, almost as loosely as the thing that's floating around in Karen White's underwear. Karen was put in an all-women's prison despite the fact she was packing a fucking whack and forcibly donkeyed it into two other women when she was in jail. You've got to laugh, haven't you? That's Karen. Fucking jaw like Desperate Dan. Yeah. Volatile and violent. Put in a prison with a load of women. You have to laugh. Well, I'm sure they got a shock when fucking hairy-ass Karen got moved in. But all the BBC wants to talk about is, boo-hoo, we have to feel pity for the poor transgender women in jail. So the male convicts who now identify as women, and they're in jail for doing horrible things like, you know, breaking the fucking law, or raping, or murdering, or stabbing. And we just want to worry about their feelings, not the people who they might want to be feeling. Mental. Just more examples of, like, we're more concerned about the perpetrators than we are the victims. Like, someone does something awful and we worry about them. A load of radical jihadis butcher a load of kids at a Manchester pop concert, and the next day all we read is, oh, what about Islamophobia? Like, seriously. Again, I don't want to see bigotry aimed at people, but I'm more concerned about the dead kids than people's feelings. And if you've got hairy-ass, 6'2", 300-pound fucking rapists getting locked in a jail cell with women that have done very minor crimes, perchance, I'm a bit more concerned for the women than I am the hairy-ass transgender fucking geezer. Again, am I fucking nuts? Or is the BBC? I think we all know the fucking answer. Oh shit, I mentioned nuts while talking about Karen White. Transphobe. Sorry. More stabbings in London. David Gomor stabbed to death. Mohammed Jalloh did it. Well, more of the rich tapestry that Sadiq Khan keeps telling us about. He's done a great job, him. He has a talent for lying, so he's a born politician. Hats off to him. He's a born fucking leader, because I wouldn't believe his radio. He couldn't fucking lie straight in bed, Sadiq fucking Khan. The man is a fucking shithead. So he's the perfect mayor of the shittest city in Britain, isn't he? The biggest shithole in the country deserves the biggest shithead as the mayor. Even this one's, look, fucking Harry Dunn's brother has a go at Boris Johnson. This is the crash where the young lad got killed outside the RAF base, which is fucking shocking. But the BBC spin it like it's somehow Boris Johnson's fault. Was he driving the fucking car? Harry Dunn's twin brothers told the PM, we have had enough lies. We've been going through hell since my brother's death. We're sick and tired of seeing his parents suffer. Well, he wasn't driving, was he? Maybe write a letter to the fucking American president who could actually deport the fucking bitch who did it. Christ, they spin everything. It's as if Boris Johnson had had 12 cans of strong lager and was driving the fucking car himself. Christ, I don't know what they want the bloke to do. Look at this one. It's a fucking virus. But they have to have their own headline for transgender people. They're extremely vulnerable during lockdown. More vulnerable than anybody else. Because if you identify with something other than what you were born as, well, you're fucked if you get the coronavirus. They target you more aggressively, like homophobic, virus-based bastards. Look at that, and they even have a gender and identity correspondent at the BBC. That's a fine use of the taxpayers' money, isn't it? Mega Mohan, the gender and identity correspondent. Just out of morbid curiosity, let's have a search for her, him, whatever it is. Mega is the BBC's first gender identity correspondent. Her original reports include the influence of the alt-right in global politics. Fucking hell. Yeah, they've got loads of influence in global politics, haven't they? Can you name me one single person who you could rightly call alt-right and say they have a deep influence in global politics? One. I'll leave that with you. Good enough to get Mega a fucking taxpayer-funded job, though. Yeah, she looks like a fucking idiot. Perfect for the BBC. I can imagine the interview. Mega, that's not even a real name, is it? Have you just made that up? Yeah. You sound like you've got a head full of cow shit. I have. Have you got any shit selfies where you're poking your tongue out for no reason? Of course I have. You fucking hired, love. There's your 6-figure salary. International transgender rights groups are warning global coronavirus lockdown restrictions have led to trans people being denied healthcare. Well, listen, seriously. My missus has told me today that her aunt is going blind and she really needs surgery, but she can't get it because of the coronavirus. There's people out there got cancer and like serious fucking ailments that are going to kill them. And these fucking twats think we should be sitting at home worrying because transgender people are being denied healthcare while there's a pandemic on. Seriously. If your brother's dying of cancer and he needs surgery and you turn on your fucking computer and read the BBC and you get that shit, is that going to make you more or less LGBT friendly? This is what I keep saying. I've never been against the LGBT community. I'm a libertarian. I think you should be free to live your life however you want, marry whoever you like, shag whoever you want. But this endless fucking war on my brain with fucking gender bending LGBT plus fucking identity politics bullshit is just having the exact opposite effect that these people think it is. It's not making me more tolerant, it's making me less tolerant. Because there's people dying of really bad illnesses and they think we want to read about this fucking minutiae. If I wanted a sex change and they were like, oh, all right, Mr. Taylor, listen, we can get your cock off tomorrow, or you could just wait a bit because there's an old woman who needs a cancer operation. I wouldn't go, fuck off, I need the cock off now, you cunt. I'd show a bit of fucking sympathy for someone who's clearly in a worse place than I am, but the BBC hasn't even got the fucking common courtesy to give us that. They just bombard us with this fucking bullshit about people in Kenya who are worrying because they're growing beards. Fucking seriously. Mega and the rest of the BBC, pull your fucking head out of your own arsehole. Jesus wept. Let's do one more. That made me so annoyed. I think I'm ready to quit and go and smash the fuck out of something. Freddie McConnell, transgender man's bid to be named father fails. Oh, it's all I want to talk about. A transgender man who gave birth to a child has lost his latest legal bid to be registered as the father. Well, he did have the fucking thing, which, you know, used to only be women, and in my opinion still is, because they're the only ones who've got a fucking womb. Freddie McConnell appealed against the decision that the person who carries the birth is legally a mother. Again, we're wasting our time on this minutiae. Just go and look after your fucking kid. There's a lot of people out there who have a barren womb and can't have children. It's all they've ever wanted, but they just can't do it. And you fucking twats are wasting our time and money on this fucking drivel. This minutiae. Nobody cares. He said this fight's not over. To get a bit of fucking paper changed. Go and look after your kid. Be a moofar, mother, father, whatever the fuck you are, to the kid. And get on with your life. And stop wasting my time making me read this shit out and making us pay for it. When we've got more important shit to worry about. Freddie, you fucking shithead. Mr. McConnell plans to appeal to the Supreme Court. He said he was disappointed by the Court of Appeal ruling, saying the fight is just not over. Well, yeah, great use of your and our money. I'm sure he's getting legal aid. If you get falsely accused of rape or something, you don't get legal aid. But if you're a thing and you want to argue about trifling minutiae on a piece of paper, yeah, we'll pay for that. It's unbelievable, isn't it? All the shit that's going on in the world, and this is the fucking dross that we deal with. Fucking nonsense. Endless shite. Well, we'll call it for 1 week, boys and girls. Best of luck in your illiberal, authoritarian, pointless fucking lockdown that's going to decimate the economy and result in more battered wives, hanged husbands, lost businesses, and general misery and death than any fucking paltry coronavirus would have ever wreaked on the country. Yeah, all them fucking people who can't get life-changing surgery not getting the cock off. I mean, cancer, brain tumour, chemotherapy. None of that's fucking happening, is it? Seriously. You all know how I feel about it by now. But it's fucking crazy. Let's see where we are in a week. Cheers.